PhD.
Toby, I was at the panel. I was the really embarrassing person on the microphone. He's like,
You're
"You're the
a
most
sweet.
underrated
That
actor in
was so,
Hollywood."
do you know what I'm so happy with? That all of these lot have agreed. You're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, you were
I was
clapping.
drinking a lot of wine.
Yeah. You were. Every time I looked over, you were just guzzling wine. I thought that was you being method because you drink a lot on the show as well.
It was just a raging alcohol. No problem.
Yeah, that's fun.
It was grape juice, wasn't it?
It was real wine.
Was it real wine?
Yeah.
Oh, I drank. Mine was grape juice. Maybe I am an alcoholic. Prevent me from becoming a bit full blown. I've just told all the press. Liam Neeson myself.
Are your tattoos on the show real, or are they
These tattoos.
the ones on the show?
These are the ones on the show.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay,
the ones on my
because I
arm.
saw the ones on like the inside of the
Oh, those.
arms.
Yeah, we added. We'd had a guy named Mr. K add all these bits here, but those are real.
Was there any
And these.
was there any reason for that, like specific artwork that means something?
They
relative to the
desperately
character?
wanted. For me, it is. Yeah, my father's from what was Rhodesia, is now Zimbabwe, and when he left, he saw a great white shark, and he thought it was a car sinking in the bay. He was like, "Oh, it's a car," and it was a great white shark just bobbing. We're always told they're like vicious. It was just bobbing in the bay. The other one's Da Vinci's wing, his design of the wing with his Latin written backwards, because he could draw and write simultaneously.
Yeah.
There's a Dutch girl, Danish or Dutch, who's doing, have you seen it? She's doing both hands at the same time. It's amazing. What tattoo? No, she's drawing with both hands at the same time, but it's like photo.
wow.
Anyway, so those are the meanings for me, but then they wanted tattoos for the character. So we added the other ones, and that's the food and the bee, the honey bee, and the baby, and the mother, and the... So yeah, Kay came up with some good ideas.
What was the hardest thing to do on the show that was relative to food stuff? Like, because I saw you had to do like the caramel sponge sugar stuff, and I was like,
Super easy. Caramel
Really?
Sponge sugar, yeah. Sponge sugar is really easy. Working with Rupert was the hardest. We had the best time, honestly. It was my favourite person to work with. And I've been sitting with Lauren, and Lauren obviously is tremendous, but she's a phenomenal actress, and I was like, I don't want to compete all the time. She's too good. But with Rupert,
So, I
no,
mean,
we had a
the,
great time. It was so good.
there's so much tension in the
Yeah.
series, and I feel like Julian comes in and kind of breaks up that tension. How do you feel about that with the character? Because I feel like he is kind of not the comic relief, but like he does like have those one-liners. It's like a lot of zingers.
He has a very kind of different energy, I think,
Yeah.
into the house. He's very brash. He comes from the financial district, so he thinks money can kind of solve a lot of problems. And he's developed all these different methods of kind of manipulating people. And he's one of these guys that always is like 2 steps ahead and kind of knows what to do. He always has a plan. And yeah, you're only kind of confident in this.
He is, and he understands the situation I'm going through, but is a real person. You know what I mean? And that's how ludicrous it is that this financial kind of brash dude is the real person in the whole thing, whereas everything else is depicted as the crazy people, you know. But he absolutely is that, and it was like, imagine having that as your brother-in-law for real. Like, what, it'd be so good. So yeah, and he plays it fantastically, and it just yeah.
Well, obviously it's a thriller, but there are some subtle comedy between you two. So what's one of your favorite moments together seen?
I mean, I enjoyed Rupert's company so much that I was laughing all the time, just as a human being, and you know, just hanging out. But scenes-wise, it's like been overthrown by how much joy we had. What was we had
a lot of kind of clandestine kind of.
we did. I
conversation
enjoyed
in
our
the
stuff in the basement.
Yeah, the basement.
That was
Yeah,
the best
the
stuff.
one side, yeah,
the
that's
best
good.
stuff. I think that because it was all one shot as well, so we were allowed to just run it through. So it was a lot of like single shots. So it was a lot like doing a play. So it had that feeling, and it just allowed us then to like breathe out and be kind of greedy with our time.
A lot of scenes as well with like FaceTime, where I'd
Yeah.
be in kind of
Yeah.
a room. We actually did that for real, didn't we? I
I
just
did,
called
yeah.
you from like
Yeah.
the green room.
It was off. I called him in, Paul, doing the other day. I was like, all right. Yeah.
So I gotta ask first, did you guys actually try the lobster ice cream?
Yes.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Was that what I had?
You didn't run it. That was the
We
problem.
made a strawberry. No, so what we did was me and Drew DeTomo, who is a phenomenal cook and was kind of my partner in crime when it came to all of that, we would always take Tony's recipe, which, by the way, was never a recipe, was just like, they're eating this, and it's like, how do we make that? So we would spend all this time trying to figure out exactly what could go into it, and then Nell's a vegan. So we'd have to figure out how to make everything a vegan version. So what you refused to eat was actually delicious vegan strawberry ice cream made with oat milk. So Drew's phenomenal. His missus is a incredible pastry chef. So, you know, whenever he was stuck, he would just ask, and we just had such a good time figuring it all out. But yeah, we made a lobster ice cream, and it's like eating a dead guy. It's really horrific. There's no purpose to it. So don't make it at home.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we made it, and it's just pungent. Like, we made a real haggis, and everyone complained because it stinks in here. And you know, not disrespecting haggis, but if you do it in a confined space, it's a lot of odour to try and get rid of.
Totally.
So we ended up just making huge sausage with kind of oat involved in it to try and give it that feel. But yeah.
Speaking of dead man ice cream,
Yeah.
you do like a lot
My
of like.
first film.
You have a lot of really gross scenes where you're
Yes.
like cleaning up vomit and just. Did anything really gross you out too much?
All of it. The vomit was particularly awful because it was freezing cold in Philly, and for some reason I had to be wearing like espadrilles and shorts. I was like, why am I in these summer clothes in this bolt? But that's, you know, acting, they say, and this is the end, don't they? You've got to pretend it's hot when it's cold. Our life's so hard. But yeah, it was oatmeal with a little egg in it or something to give it more strands or strings. It doesn't matter what the actual product is, it's just the mammalian reflex of like reaching into like a gooey mass with tissue where your finger goes through it. So yeah, it was all, it's not really gross, is it? No, it was all easy. But it's pretty gross.
So, Rupert, did you set out to make your character funny, or do you feel like you were more so following the script? Because you had a line, the crazy bereaved white woman snatched a baby, and I had to stop because I was laughing so hard that I was just like,
So
what did you just say?
So yeah, he does have a way with words, Julian. Yeah, no, I think it's the script. That's all kind of credit to Tony's. It was such a clear voice that character had that it was very easy to kind of jump into his skin. And yeah, there's some good lines.
His timing's brilliant though, you know, which is the performance part of it. You know, timing is just every time, and it's hard because we'll do 15 takes because, as I said, it's a continuous shot. But his timing is just spot on. So it's hard not to crack up. Every day, he'd like have lines, and he's just looking at me. I'm like, don't do it. Don't look at me like that. You know,
Yeah, we did struggle with eye contact a little bit, didn't
a
we?
lot, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's good. That's the joy because it's a stressful story to tell.
So,
It's a heavy story.
I mean, I feel like every episode left us on the edge of our seats until, you know, we finally binged all of it. And now I want more and I have to wait a long time. But, you know, if it does go into multiple seasons, do you think we're going to peel back some more of like the family history? Because I feel like there's a lot more going on with Julian and Dorothy, and I would like to see how Dorothy and Sean met and came together. Do you think it would start going into that?
Those are things we talked about, and even things like who our parents are, who my parents are. Are my parents alive? Is there siblings? And, you know, so there's a lot of scope. I think what's so incredible about that house is I actually love being there. I know when you watch it, it starts to feel claustrophobic. And Lauren would always say she wanted to get out of the house, but I think that's how tremendous of an actress she is, that you realise, obviously, as you've seen it all, why she wants to get out of the house. And hopefully you realise why Sean wants to stay in that house.
Yeah.
So for me, we're telling our own stories. For me, I love being there. I need to be there. I want to be there. I want to make that house a home again. And so that's what's so nice about Julian coming over. It's the authenticity of it actually being entertaining a guest. And a guest who brings a bottle of wine and has some spurious story about why he's there and is there when you're fixing something, or, you know, it's that kinship you hope to get with a brother-in-law, that you hope to get with a brother. You know, so that's what we worked on, is like, and then, so who is the family?
Right. Yeah, because you don't always see that. A lot of times the
No.
in-laws do not get along
You
at
don't.
all, and it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
just the complete opposite
Yeah.
with you two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and a bless you. Bless you.
Yeah.
Bless you.
I actually loved how the show.
Last question.
Oh, okay. I actually love how the show was confined into the Philadelphia.
No pressure.
Yeah.
Spit it out. No, go
Well,
on.
this is for Rupert. This is your first American role, right? So what was that like?
Yeah, no, enjoyable. It was the accent is something I've not done before. And yeah, it's a funny one. There's a few words that do kind of trip you up. Aunt springs to mind. I couldn't make up my mind how to say that.
Because you guys say it two different ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
Aunt
And
depends
aunt.
where you're from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So me, I have to stay in it, and he has this beautiful ability to go out. So you're like, you know, you try and do I need to call you your character's name? Like, no, just Rupert. I have to stay in it.
I did try that. I tried.
We tried.
It's very hard to stay in.
Boy, do you remember how awkward it was? We had another actor come in who plays the detective, the PI, and we were sitting, and he was like, "Where are you from?" And I was like, "Newark." Just because I've been chatting with Rupert, I was just in my thing, and I had my accent. I was like, "Newark," and he was like, "Oh yeah, I hear it in your accent," but I had my American accent. But I'm actually from Newark in England. So, Newark, yeah. And then he was like, "Whereabouts?" I was like, "Oh, Boundary Road." He's like, "Oh yeah, I know it." I was like, "It's such a fluke. I'm giving all the right answers to allow me a great spy." But it is a struggle for us. It's a struggle. Certain words are like, your tongue gets 3 times the size. You're like, I can't get that word out. So especially because he's an English writer,
Yeah.
there were some words I had to be like, I can't say that. It's too English. And I'm not saying you're not erudite as a people. I just can't be English, pretending to be American and say this super English word.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I'm from Philly. I think you guys nailed it pretty good.
I just did Drew DeTomo, who's from Philly. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm Drew. That's it. Talk with him the whole time.